Okay, this is our third of a three-part series of diving and snorkeling on Maui, and this is my favorite video. We did two basic sites on this video. One was Black Rock and the other one was Lanai Caverns. So Black Rock is a pretty easy place to get to. You basically go to the Marriott right at Black Rock and park in the Marriott parking lot, or what's a little bit easier is to drop off all your stuff right by the beach and the golf course, and then leave someone with the stuff, drop off the car in the garage, and then hike over. And then you dive in off the beach, and then we did it from north to south, came out on the south end of Black Rock, and then you just kind of hike through to pick up your car again. Just make sure before you hike through the hotel area that you use the rinse station and shower off so you're not tracking sand. All right, well, let's jump in. Like I said, this is my favorite dive, and you'll see why pretty soon. There were tons of big schools of fish at Black Rock that we saw both times we dove it, kind of sitting in the sand right off the rock. And you can see right off the bat, Jen spotted a moray eel here. This is a yellow margin moray stuffed in a rock. And right after it, the fish that we saw nowhere else, this is a blue goatfish. These fish strung out in a big, long, lazy line. They just kind of hang out there and stay in this line. It's really, well, what? Unless, well, it's Jen chasing them all away. Well, we did this spot twice, so that means there's two special fish, and this is the second one. This is a devil scorpion fish. When they're not moving around, you can barely see it. It's just a rock, and if you step on them, you'll really regret it because they've got a long spine with a bunch of venom in it. Generally, it's a pretty ugly fish, unless you can get them to spread their pectoral Alright, so almost embarrassing to admit this, but on both dives, both with Maui divers and when we did this alone, there were a mother and a young monk seal. Monk seals are a near extinct seal that lives in the Hawaiian Islands. That was right up against us. I never saw them either time, but of course Jen did and got some great photos of them. So check out this mom and pup monk seal. Our second dive site, which we did 2 dives on, is out on the island of Lanai, which is part of Maui County, but it's a separate island. On the south side, there's a bunch of lava tubes that spilled into the ocean and then collapsed partially, creating these huge caverns. So we did 2 dives down here. One was called Chicken Rock, and the other one was called Second Cavern. Both of them were pretty fantastic. And the boat ride out there is about an hour. We saw a bunch of whales and other stuff on the way out, so even the boat ride was pretty enjoyable. So why don't we head on over there and check it out. So as I said, there were a lot of whales out when we were in Hawaii, and we saw a ton of them on our ride out to Lanai. Most of them were just kind of off in the distance, but there were quite a few that were up close, jumping out of the water, and even had a couple mothers with calves reaching and jumping out of the water. It was pretty cool. We actually saw a bottlenose dolphin, which apparently is kind of rare. There's a lot of spinner dolphins and some other dolphins in Hawaii, or at least around Maui. But according to our captain and our dive guides, bottlenose dolphins are pretty rare. You can see this guy right here kind of playing on our weight. And then a little bit later, he was jumping up out of the water, like right behind the boat. Really good show. Let's get underwater and check out Chicken Rock. So Lanai caverns are, well, they're caverns, so you kind of have to take turns going through. While the first group was going through, we were just kind of hanging out outside of the cavern entrance, and that's where we saw the first of 2, actually, unique fish for this dive. What's shown right here is called a chevron angelfish, and it's actually just a juvenile of a black angelfish. caverns at Chicken Rock were actually pretty short and sweet. They're pretty neat, but actually the stuff on the outside of the cavern I think was even more impressive. Right here we're about to go into the cavern at Second Caverns at Lanai, which is a much more expansive cavern with a bunch of chambers and a couple areas where the roof is collapsed and creates a big lit bowl, which you can kind of see off here in the distance. There's a black coral that is hanging from the roof of one of the caverns, which is known as the chandelier. Outside of the chambers, you can see everyone's staring at something here. What's under the rock here is called a viper moray eel. Really scary looking eel. We didn't get great video of them, but at the end of this video clip though, I included a picture that Jen took of him up close, and you can kind of see what he really looks like. Fish that I don't think we saw anywhere else. I'm pretty sure this is a potter's angelfish. He's the guy with the blue tail. Well, this next clip kind of shows you why sometimes it's good to go with an experienced local. We saw a frogfish here. I'm going to let you watch this video and see if you can pick him out. I'll give you a hint. He's yellow, kind of the same color as the coral he's right next to. Still can't see him? He's right here. So reef fish especially like to hide out and hang out in the same sort of area, which really makes it a big advantage to be a local, because once you see something, you kind of know the sorts of hideouts they go to and where to find them. If you didn't know this guy was here, you probably never would have seen him. Well, that wraps up video 3 of 3 of our snorkeling and dive trip to Maui, Hawaii in February 2025. See you next time at a new location and more adventure.